back in northern Arizona here for the 2023 PDGA Masters World Championships. This is back 9 at Thorpe Park for round 3, and as we discussed on the front 9, our leader up to this point, Chris Smith, has some struggles through the first 5, and that's allowed Ryan back in it. He's got a 1-stroke lead on him now for the first time in the tournament. Somebody else other than Chris is at the top. My name is Stephen Weiss, and I'm joined by PDGA Event Support staff Steve Boylan.
Nice to be with you guys. Nice little breezy day here.
Looking at these leaderboards, we got a tight race there, 9 under, 8 under through 5th and 8th place, some ties.
See a couple of people climbing the leaderboard a little bit. You got Scott Mirror from Las Vegas, Nevada, shooting a couple down on the front 9. And then Yanni, I think he's from Finland. He was down. He's in 6th place. Solid play.
Drone flight deceiving on this hole 10. Tough par 3, 427 feet, all downhill. And look at Brian with the thumber.
We do have two routes on this one. You got that route there, that Brian took, and he threw that thumber down there. It goes left to right, but there's also a right to left lane there. I don't know if these guys are going to take it. Looks like
he stays in the back.
Cooked that with it.
Yeah, he did.
He overcooked it just a little bit, started floating toward that road, and it stayed inbound. Good.
Got a late kick there that kept him in, and Mike, look at that one stand up. He threw it on Hyzer, and he knows this perfectly down the middle.
That's knowing your disc. That's trusting and knowing your disc. That's a good reliable source to have when you're trying to throw these tight lines. Speaking of tight lines and knowledge of disc, these forehands really come into play on some of these holes. He gets that flare skip at the end there, and man, that's nice.
Yeah.
Whoa, just misses. Just a little bit short from throwing that one in. That would have been a beautiful shot for Moser. Chris slides a little bit long on this one, so he's got a little bit of work to go. A little tester there.
No, Ron just getting caught up there. Had really not much to work with. Maybe trying to throw over that bush there and just didn't get it high enough.
You either have to throw a flare skip forehand from there, or you have to.
Oh,
you're going to go out of the road.
Almost played the backboard into the basket.
Yeah, but he got away with one there because if he doesn't hit that tree, he's OB. And you see Ron just canning the big putt for this par save. There's Chris. There's the putt that we've been looking for. Grubby and Moser with the tap-ins. All 4 start this this back 9 with par on the hardest hole playing on the course. Yeah, actually it did. It played 3.63 on a par 3. Yeah, if you get a par, you're gaining some throws.
Practice. It's the difference between good and great. Distractions are obstacles. Eliminate them and see how far you can go.
All right, hole 11, downhill, tight OB, or like OB playing close, on the left-hand side, that road down there. Tree kick is almost promising that you're going to go out there and so you can get lucky with another one, or if you get knocked straight down.
The interesting thing,
I really love this throw from Ryan.
Well, it keeps him safe.
Yep.
So, he can have the rear kick, but he does take it a little bit too far right. But he's taking that road totally out of it. And it's not just a road. They've marked this OB line slightly in, and so you could drift over that line and think you're in bounds, but you're not. I think this is a smart play. Standstill toss down here. Although, that looks like that might have popped out. A red flag comes out. Chris with that beautiful forehand. and he's going to have a look at it for the birdie.
Not a bad kick. Definitely could get a good run. It's that train, but Brian here having to go real wide and just.
Now he throws this floater and he puts a little extra spin on that, so make sure he gets left. And boy, that worked out beautifully for him to get up and down. Mike was OB, so this is his putt for a par. And you can see it falls a little short, but it's kind of a safety par. Safety bogey, so it's from where he was, it's not a bad signal.
Chris with a chance here to make him strokes on the card, and he does. So first birdie on the back nine.
First birdie on the back nine. That last putt on hole 10, that looked like he gave him some confidence, and he stepped right up there and hit that one.
Ron didn't go out of bounds. He went fairly long at the basket and just
So yeah, that's an uncharacteristic miss from Ron. Usually he gets those pretty comfortably. He's kicking himself a little bit on that one, but we've all missed those. I know he's trying to become a 4-time major champion here, and still a long way to go.
Brian cleaning up that good scramble, and then we have hole 12, probably the toughest hole on the course, probably the toughest hole on the back nine at least. Par 4, 402 feet uphill, and I think that's where the struggle happens, because this hole gains over 100 feet in elevation. If I did the Pythagorean theorem and the triangle math, geometry, algebra stuff right.
Well, I know it's a long way up there, and I know you're huffing and puffing. That's all I know, because when I throw it, you want to be right in the middle, and sometimes you're 150 feet out, but you got to feel like you got to throw about 250 feet just to get to that second shot. So far, Chris had a nice, smooth shot. Schweby's got himself a little bit of work to do here. If he went a little bit right, I'm not sure if he got a lane.
I found my notes. I did calculate slope on this hole because I was really intrigued just how close the basket looks, but then how far it's registering, and then the uphill, and it is like nearly a 20% elevation grade.
So throwing up this hill, the tendency is to go left, and if you go left, there's this big log on the left side that you have to either throw around or throw through or get your stance. So you're trying not to do that, but at the same time, you want to get it up in that middle and get as far as you can on that drive, because your footing might not be good. And Ron plays a safety move out there. Says, all right, let me give him a long look at it, because I can safely run at it pretty hard going uphill. But you can see how hard Mike throws here, and he's still a little bit short. He's down towards circle's edge, and he's got to hit that putt going uphill. I have faith that he can do it. It's just
It's tough standing there. Yeah, you're leaning forward to keep your balance. And then as soon as you get past the basket, like, it doesn't slow down at all. You're really coming back down at it hard.
Right. Schweby struggled a little bit with that. You kind of expected that might happen. He did get some distance off the tee, so he can still scramble and save this score. Maybe he can go ahead and knock one in. Let's see. Just a little bit short, but he's going to have that drop in for the par. Ron with his second forehand in a row on this hole too. Maybe that's the key, forehand. And he puts it right up near Schweby, so he's going to be able to drop that at his tongue. Well, here's Moser with the birdie opportunity. What a great thought.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's a 12, 13-foot elevation change, and you can see how these guys are hiking up. He hits it square in the middle of the chains on the right side and filters right down to it. Chris is level at it, putting over across. That's actually a really nice place to be. Bush isn't really in the way, so he canes it. You'll notice that Ron and Schweby will clean up. They're pretty close. I don't anticipate too much of an issue. So after this, you climb up even more. You go up another probably 25 feet in elevation, before you're actually throwing back down at hole 13. Hole 13 is a 496-foot hole that goes left to right. And you got to traverse both of these fences, and there is another fence on the other side before the parking lot are right. Generally, you're not going to get there. You want to throw nose down on this, but you don't want to go too far nose down because you want to be able to filter right to that target.
Hole 13's tee is the highest elevation point that the players have faced during the tournament at over 7,000 feet.
Like I said, the key to this one is throw it low, throw something a little understable. Of course, the stability factor on this with the elevation does matter. Normally you'd be throwing sidewinders and road runners on this, but you might pick out something that's really super understable as a mid-range. In fact, I threw a Cobra on this on this round and was able to get this one. So we got, I think 3 of the guys are in between the two fences. They have to navigate the fence and go over it. Good forehand. Got a little bit of work to do. It's a downhill putt. Ron's got that solid putting style, so I think he's going to be fine. Schwebby with his patented, man, he's putting overtime work on this thumber this weekend. And look at the action he gets. He gets her up there by Ron, so he's got a putt as well. Moser, he pulls this Hyzer flex. Just a beautiful touch shot. He gets down there within 10 or 12 feet, maybe even closer than that. Now Chris has went by the target quite a bit. There's a building there to his right that's OB, so he was safe. So he'll tap in for that 3.
Oh, that's a great layup.
It's a rare bogey for Schwebby. So I mean, just a missed putt. I mean, it does slope downhill, so you do think about that. You don't want to go too hard on it and go flying by. But again, Ron with that near, looks like he splashed out to the right. Got the pro side on that.
Just 5 birdies on the whole Robert Bainbridge that we seen round 1. He had it. Steve, you had a birdie here.
Yeah. Like I was saying, I threw that Cobra on there and put it about 25 feet away. Was able to cash it in. Scott Meyer got it. Tommy Nyberg and Shane Byram.
So next hole here, a little bit shorter than 12, but definitely had to think about that elevation gain again as you're going back up the side of this hill. Tight fairway. Definitely a hole that we've seen some ace runs on for round 1, and I think practice round I've seen a couple good throws here on, and just got to navigate this gap through the middle of the hole, and then opens back up.
You see Chris is disappointed with that. I think he was thinking maybe he should have thrown a different shot, but it is such a tight gap. You get about an 11 to 12 foot gap, and it's about 80 feet off the tee. If you can, once you hit that, you generally get pretty good. You can see
Good double kick.
a couple of ricochets there for Moser to put himself in the middle of the fairway. But you want to get past that first initial set to have an opportunity to either for the par, an easy par or the birdie.
There it is, drawn up perfectly by Ron, just coming up short of the basket with a great roll.
Yeah.
And that was,
He's actually a little closer than it looks. I think he's only like 10 feet away.
good ground movement for him to be able to get up there. And Chris here with the suspect for his up shot.
Now, this hole is only 258 feet long, but yet it played over par. And it played over par because of the tight lines. And you can see there's debris on the ground. You got the log there that Webby had to deal with. I know I had to deal with that first round. It can be tough.
Yeah, Mike's
putting it.
Mike's stance here.
Moser's going in. Mike's stance. He might actually take a couple of seconds instead of one. Nope. He still runs at it. Man, he's so good at this, and I've been doing this a long time.
Soft, just throw something floaty up there. And
soft load up there, but unfortunately that's going to be another bogey. It's going to be back-to-back for Schwebby there. Rare bogey for Schwebby.
Chris will be looking at a bogey now too. First one on the backside after hitting those birdies.
Yeah, Chris has had a nice comeback.
Yeah, I thought you had another 15 feet.
Yeah. Ooh, that's some damage.
Come on, Smitty.
So this hole here plays one of the easiest, actually the easiest hole to par. Second easiest hole to par other than hole 9. At 2.71. So there've been more birdies on it, and rarely do we get a bogey on it. So I don't anticipate these guys having too much of an issue. Nice shot from Ron there. He puts it well within the circle, and shouldn't be too much of an issue with that.
Good looking line there. Just gotta get it a little higher. Good ground plate. Look forward a little bit. Tough
A little bit more juice would have. Yeah. But he's got a putt there, so we'll see what he can net.
Chris just going in,
Another good
inside a little early, and another good ground play straight to the basket.
Yeah, he's stuck 12 or 15 feet away. I don't anticipate he's going to have to make. Good stop by Schwebby there. I know
he had a horn, a car horn just across the road there. They're down by the parking lot. And it just walks it off. But yeah, solid stop.
Yeah, he's got a play. He's got a little work to do here yet. So with him being the furthest out, about circle's edge, we'll see if he cans this. He does have to navigate around that tree, and you can see him looking at his hand a little bit. Maybe kind of hung on to it just a second there, or maybe had some moisture on there.
Good shot.
Mike with the big putt. He's due. Good to see that. Mike's pulling together a pretty solid round. He has had that one bogey back there in 11, but he threw out of bounds, and now he's had all green other than that. So
Ron's disc catching on the back of the basket and staying in for him.
Yeah, it's a big sigh of relief when those go in. You hate to see a good putt go out the back end.
And Chris's drive here.
What?
Great drive, great ground play, kicking towards the basket for him. And
Chris has had his struggles this round, but he's pulled it back together. He's had some really nice birdies, and man, you'd like to see that because you hate to see the spiral effect. And he obviously is not doing that. He's maintaining, and you got to remember he's not one. He's not one on this level, so he's only won 2 A-tiers as an MP40 player, and so this majors. I mean, he did take third in the Masters Worlds back in 2013 or 14, I think, and so this is impressive to watch somebody be on a lead, maintaining a lead or being in that lead group for this long.
I did talk to Chris and Brian. I think it was after round 4, and they were both talking about maybe it was after round 2, but Chris turned 50 on January, and Brian said he turned 50 in April. So they're both the young guns in this division, and they got top of the leaderboard the first try at it. So they got 10 years of this if they wanted to use it all.
And I'm certain they will.
Nice
and
shot.
What's really great, one of the interesting things, what an amazing shot there. That's not a hard hard putt from there, but it is a raised basket, so that you do want to pay attention to that. But that drive, getting it up that close, it's uphill, 345 feet, I think, or 360 feet, and with that placement of that basket on top of that stump, so you make sure work at it. Schwebby, you mentioned that he just turned 50 this year. That was he and I share the same birthday.
So the whole division's getting a whole bunch of new players in it. Watching Ron par putt and Mike coming in for a par.
So one of the key things on this hole is if you do miss your putt, you definitely want to be on that upper side, so you're putting flat at the target instead of throwing straight up at it. So these guys are all taller than me, so they don't have any problems.
And then here we go for Brian's birdie after the great roll that he had. Good ground play.
Able to can that.
Yeah,
no problem.
Hole 17, 390 feet. And again, the road on the right side comes into play because this hole shapes a left to right shot, forehand favorite, lefty favorite kind of throw. You see the OB line there. It's not on. There's a walking path that it plays inside of the walking path of.
Turn it.
He throws a high shot, which kind of surprised me a little bit. He gets away with a little bit. You can see the target, but you want to throw a little bit lower and get your disc to really work right to left, left to right, and then back a little bit. Ron does a perfect line at this. Puts it up just past, and he's 12.
That's a highlight. That's a great shot.
390-foot hole, looking at a birdie opportunity when there's not many of them on this hole. This played the hardest on the first day, and it played as far as birdies goes. There's so few of them. In fact, there's only 2 birdies this round, and it's.
Go ahead and say it.
You'll see. It's Ron and myself. Yeah.
I mean, Ron's parked, and awesome job, getting it down there. Were you as close as he was, or?
No. I was about 25 feet away. That's there. So Chris is he's inside the circle, but he's got almost no putt because he's got these limbs that come out.
We see Robert over there. Robert was a little bit further into that area. Definitely a troubled spot.
Further in. So it's a really troubled spot. You're almost forced to just throw and hope that you can get around some of this. I mean, not get around, but throw and hope that you can get one in. You can see that's a nice little upshot. And he gives it a little bit of a run, but he wants to make sure he's going to stay close. And you can see that, boom, Ron gets that birdie. Very well done. 12 feet away. You expect that from Ron to be able to hit that in, 99.9% of the time. The rest of these guys are going to clean up their pars. But birdies are impressive.
Mike left to clean up his par.
Why disc golf? It's the people. It's fun.
It's the lucky shots.
It's the feeling.
So come out.
Grab a disc.
Or 2.
And let it fly with Lone Star Disc.
All right, last hole for this 18, round 3 here at Thorpe Park, par 4, 504 feet, second easiest hole on the scorecard according to the stats. I really think that's just, like you've mentioned before, not a lot of double bogeys or worse, and a few opportunities for eagles here.
Yeah, you do have an opportunity for eagles, so although it's 500 feet, it is downhill. And if you can get through these trees, sneak through them on the right to left, or even skip up there close enough to get a putt. I was fortunate enough to play with Chris Brophy, and he threw a massive drive, and it went right, and he put it 22 feet away and was able to get that eagle. So there are a couple of eagle opportunities. He and Jody Franklin both got eagles on this hole today, and man, that's impressive. These guys,
Good tree correction.
yeah, that was a really nice tree correction. Chris is up next. So far, no one's really laced one down the middle yet. So
There it is, but
That
he's
is
low again. He was throwing low early.
a little bit
Yep.
low. It's the rocking. You know, it gets a forward roll. You see that disc, halo looking style disc.
That's his Raptor Eye trespass. So he's been leaning on a lot. Anytime we see that blue one off the tee, it's gonna be his Raptor Eye trespass.
What a great shot! I mean, he was a bit out there, so for him to have a look at that for the birdie opportunity, pretty special.
I tweaked my freaking elbow.
Here's a rare miss with the thumber from Schweby, but he still got a birdie opportunity.
Mike getting between the trees underneath that limb and slides it up there perfect. So he'll have real simple birdie. And now Chris, forehand up shot with that suspect again, that yellow suspect he has. Almost dunking it from the tee, from where I was at on the tee cam. It looked like he had that all the way.
Schweby makes a big run at it. It's been enjoyable to watch these guys compete and navigate this course. Thorpe is, I would say, it's one of the more difficult courses on the MP50 division, and it's taxing as you go up and down these hills. But these guys look like they had a pretty good time overall.
So Chris regaining the top spot on the leaderboard, and Ron making a charge now, shooting 5 down. Him and Mike both shooting 5 down for round 3 here, charging up that leaderboard. 1 round to go before the cut. Chris with a 1-stroke lead. 1 through 8th, they're all within 6 strokes of each other.
Yeah, I mean, names on the leaderboard: Chris, Ron, Mike, Brian. So now we see Yanni down there, and Jay Redding's back up in there. Robert Ryan from California, he's making that climb. And Bainbridge, of course, also from California, rounding out the top 8. It's pleasure to see these guys all competing and all be within striking distance with 1 hole to go before the cut. I'm sorry, 1 round to go before the cut.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how it unfolds at Little America. Must be our second time at that course. See how players making the adjustments.
I'm sure that Little America is gonna come out and show her teeth a little bit with the wind. We'll see how that reacts.
All right, see you round 4.
See you round 4. Thank you.